Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the D-Rich Show, where we talk anything and everything crypto. Now, here's your host, D-Rich.
Hey everybody, welcome to the D-Rich Show. This is D-Rich and today is January 27, 2021. Today's episode is Sorry Mr. Jackson, they like to remove you from history. But first, before we get into the video, we want to go ahead and give a big shout out to all of my subscribers, all of my followers, whether you be on Twitter, YouTube, things like that. I hope that you enjoy the content, and I just want to make sure that you are recognized always, that I appreciate your support, some positive feedback and things like that. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And even though if you don't make a comment, it shows up in the viewership, so I appreciate it. And if it's something, again, you like your audience, your personal audience, think that they'll like the channel, please share it on your favorite platforms, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Vimeo, Periscope, you name it, whatever platform it is, go ahead and share it. Thank you so much. But before we begin, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and always hit that notification bell so that you know that when the videos are produced, you'll know that they're up and going. But anyway, we're going to jump right on into the coin market cap. We got Bitcoin trading right now at $30, not $30, $30,128. Still dominating the market at 62%, almost 63%. Ethereum is at $1,250. Polkadot, $15.28. XRP right now is trading at 25 cents. So basically, guys, you guys are getting $4 for $1. So when you look at it that way, you go ahead and get $4 for $1. I know that you've heard me say that I don't need to buy XRP. I'm good. I'm stacked up. But yesterday was the first time that I bought XRP in a couple months, because I know that I want to go ahead and increase my stack, because I just do. For some reason, I got bullish on it again. It's not that I stopped being bullish. I just got bullish again for some reason. But anyway, Cardano is at 31 cents. Sitting at number 6, Chainlink, number 7, $20.77. Litecoin, $122. Bitcoin Cash, number 9, at $374.38. And Binance Coin BNB at 40.40. So anyway, guys, I wanted to point these assets out because it's important that you see you see red in the market. You see 12% loss, 8%, 8%. You say 5%, 9%, almost 10%, things like that. And then we're going to go down here to Stellar, sitting at 23 cents, almost 24 cents or so. And anyway, guys, you're getting $4 for $1, or a little bit over $4 for $1, down 8%. Uniswap is over there doing some numbers. I don't know what that's all about, but hey, I'm go ahead and be looking into some Uniswap. Hopefully it goes down and retraces a little bit. I like to, put a couple on my balance sheet just to hold them, maybe 5, 10 of them. Who knows? That's just me. I try to set numbers. I set a number goal. I hope you do the same. But anyway, this is a great buying opportunity if you're able to purchase. If you're not, continue to hold your position. Don't go breaking the bank, making sure that, you always have funds available for your basic needs, your basic necessities, your household items, your bills, food on the table for your family, making sure you got gas in the vehicle, things like that. Those are important. Those are necessities. Make sure you take care of those first before you get into the market. Again, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. But I always want to encourage you to make sure that you're paying attention to your budget, set a budget, stay strict with that budget, and do your thing, because at the end of the day, before too long, you're not going to be able to get some of these cryptocurrencies or digital assets at the prices that they sit. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this GameStop, BlackBerry, AMC stocks that see trading halts as social media hype drives volatility. This is coming from the Global News, which was posted today here on January 27th. And let me just go ahead and get into some of this article. Stocks of GameStop, BlackBerry, and AMC Entertainment Holdings all saw trading halts on Wednesday morning amid continued volatility, widely attributed to social media chatter. Well, guys, listen, let me just make it very clear. I was one of the guys that was affected by this because I know I had some things lined up with BlackBerry, with AMC, as well as another one, which was Kodak, and I couldn't even get in or out of my trades. Even when I wanted to sell for profit with some of my other assets on Robinhood, I couldn't sell, and it kind of irritated me. But I know now why, because this is something that's been going on all across the markets, all across the world, where people are trying to, get back at these big bankers. And for you gamers and for you Redditors and all those, hey, just keep doing what you do. Okay? They get mad when you communicate and share information with one another, and you break them. They get mad at you because you're winning. Keep winning. Okay? If they want to short the market and they want to keep certain assets or stocks suppressed and whatnot, get on them. Rise them up, raise them up, make that money. Okay? When they over there doing their little stuff to the market, manipulating the market, we can't say anything to them. We can't stop the market from them doing what they do. So you do what you do. And I think that's what's good about social media, is that you got people who are frustrated being taken advantage of for year after year, especially in this crisis that we're in. People have been hurt. People have been destroyed. Livelihoods turned upside down, things like that. So you know what? Congratulations to them. And it kind of puts a smile on my face to see that these bankers and, hedge fund managers are, shitting their pants, liquidating all of their assets to cover their short sales. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to point this out. If you've been affected, I apologize for it. I feel sorry for you, because I'm included. I'm not excluding myself. I trade on the market. I try to be a scalper. I scalp in the market. That's what I do. I'm more of an option trader when it comes to stocks. I'm not a hodler like I am when it comes to cryptocurrency. So if I buy crypto, I buy it to keep it and hold it and not even touch it. There's some that I do trade in and out of, but I'm not a trader. I like to buy things and hold it. When it comes to stocks, again, I like to use options trades on Robinhood, but since Robinhood has been screwing me over for the last couple days, I think I'm gonna go over to Webull or some other trading exchange that is more user friendly and doesn't have glitches. And I compare Robinhood to Coinbase. Anytime the market moves up, the market, the app crashes or is slow or doesn't execute trades. But for today, I do believe it was impacted on many exchanges, not just, Robinhood. I'm talking about like TD Ameritrade, things like that. So anyway, keep scalping the market. Go on and learn how to take money out the market. That's what we're here for. But anyway, the reason why we're going to be talking about Andrew Jackson's today is very important, because there's some things that we are starting to see here in the news when it comes to the $20 bill. But I want to give you guys a brief history as to why Andrew Jackson is on the $20 bill and why they are attempting to remove Andrew Jackson from the $20 bill. So first, if you know anything about Andrew Jackson, they attempted to assassinate Andrew Jackson. They thought he was a madman. They thought he was a conspiracy theorist. And this is kind of because of a lot of angry politicians. Now, I'll go ahead and briefly read into this, and you could go ahead and read it in the description. As always, I'll leave the article in the description. This is coming from the Smithsonian Magazine, and I want to make sure that they get credit for allowing me to use their article. On January 30th, 1835, politicians gathered in the Capitol building for the funeral of South Carolina Representative Warren Davis. It was a dreary, misty day, and onlookers observed that it was one of the rare occasions that could bring the fiercest of politician rivals side by side on peaceful or peaceable terms, but the peace wasn't meant to last. President Andrew Jackson was among their number that day. At age 67, Jackson had survived more than his fair share of maladies and mishaps, some of them self-provoked, such as the bullet lodged in his chest from a duel 30 years earlier. General Jackson is extremely tall and thin, with a slight stoop, betokening more weakness than naturally belonging to his years, wrote Harriet, I don't want to butcher that last name, a British social theorist, in her contemporaneous travelogue retrospect of Western travel. 6 years into his presidency, Jackson had used bluster and fiery speeches to garner support for his emergent Democratic coalition. He used his veto power far more often than previous presidents, obstructing congressional action and making political enemies in the process. Jackson's apparent affirmity at the funeral belied his famous Spitfire personality, which would shortly become apparent. And I'll just get to this last little part right here, and then we'll move forward in the video. As Jackson exited the east portico at the end of the funeral, Richard Lawrence, an unemployed painter, accosted him. Lawrence pulled a Derringer pistol from his jacket, aimed at Jackson, and fired. Although the cap fired, the bullet failed to be discharged. As Lawrence withdrew a second pistol, Jackson charged his would-be assassin. Let me alone. Let me alone, he shouted. I know where this came from. He then attempted to batter the attacker, which, with his cane, Lawrence fired his second gun, but this one too misfired. Now, guys, the reason why I'm bringing up Andrew Jackson is because of the simple fact that he was fiery. Not only that, he made political enemies. And if you look at that time in history and compare it to this time in history, we're looking at the same type of situation here. Now, can only speculate that there has been these type of attempts on the last president, 45. I can only speculate that there has. I have seen some, nuggets of information, but that's for a different time in a different video. The reason why they are mad at 45 and the reason why they were mad at Andrew Jackson is because of the simple fact that Andrew Jackson shuts down the second bank of the United States. Okay. And the reason why he had to shut them down is because they were taking, control over, some of the things, the private banks coming in to, implement their systems, implement their things as far as, control over the people. And Andrew Jackson, he did not like the private Western Central banking system, so he destroyed their banking system. So there's one more banking system, which is the Federal Reserve. We'll get into that a little bit later. But President Andrew Jackson announces that the government. Oops, What's this? Oops. I didn't mean for that to play, so if I get in trouble, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was there. But anyway, let's get back into it. Announces that the government will no longer use the Second Bank of the United States, the country's national bank, on September 10th, 1833. He then used his executive power to remove all federal funds from the bank in the final salvo of what is referred to as the Bank War. Now, when you are going up against, the central bank, when you're going up against, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all of the big bankers that has money to combat what you as an individual or a small group of people per se want to do is try to remove you, they're going to fight back, and they're not going to give up power. And on this show, we've been talking about the power struggle that is happening right here before our very eyes. There's people who want to maintain their power, which is the current Democrat Party, and there's the Patriot Party, who wants to take back their power that has been lost from the population, from the people. So a national bank has first been created by George Washington and Alexander Hamilton in 1791 to serve as a central repository for federal funds. The Second Bank of the United States was founded in 1816, 5 years after the first bank's charter had expired. Traditionally, the bank had been run by a board of directors with ties to industry and manufacturing, and therefore was biased towards the urban and industrial northern states. Jackson, the epitome of the frontiersmen, resented the bank's lack of funding for expansion into the unsettled western territories. Jackson also objected to the bank's unusual political and economic power and the lack of congressional oversight over its business dealings. Same thing that we're experiencing here, going on as well. So, Jackson took down the bank, the private central bank. Now we are faced with that same dilemma here in the United States again. So anyway, we want to know what the bank war is. Let's go jump on into that, kind of get a little history of that. The bank war was a political struggle that developed over the issue of recharting the Second Bank of the United States during the presidency of Andrew Jackson, and the affair resulted in the shutdown of the bank and its replacement by state banks. So you have these banks like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Chase, things like that, and all these banks are like tentacles of the central bank, which has uses the debt as an instrument to enslave the people. So the Second Bank of the United States was established as a private organization with a 20-year charter, having the exclusive right to conduct banking on the national scale. The goal behind the BUS was to stabilize the American economy by establishing a uniform currency and strengthening the federal government. We'll come back to that uniform of a currency, or establishing a currency. Supporters of the bank regarded it as a stabilizing force in the economy due to its ability to smooth out variations in price and trade, extend credit, supply the nation with a sound and uniform currency, provide fiscal services for the Treasury Department, facilitate long-distance trade, and prevent inflation by regulating the lending practices of state banks. Jacksonian Democrats cited instances of corruption and alleged that the BUS favored merchants and speculators at the expense of farmers and artisans, appropriated public money for the risky private investments, and interference in politics and conferred economic privileges on a small group of stockholders and financial elites, thereby violating the principle of equal opportunity. Some found the bank's public-private organization to be unconstitutional and argued that the institution charter violated state sovereignty. To them, the bank symbolized corruption while threatening liberty. Now, guys, if you guys are paying attention to what's going on in the world today, is some of the same stuff. We're talking about corruption. We're talking about the currency reset. Will there be a new currency? Will there be the people's currency created by the people? And as you've been listening to the channel, in the Constitution, the people get to create their own currency. And I do believe that President Trump was building a parallel economy in the meantime, working in the central bank illusion. This is why you have low interest rates. This is why you have, when you see higher interest rate, the market comes down. When you have low interest rates, the market is stable, because then, the central banks have to do what they call like a 1-for-1, or there's no interest at all, or there's no tax at all. So there's no penalties for the average person like you, myself, and many others. They don't suffer that. But now, since we see like 30-something executive orders being tossed around in the last 7 days, we're starting to see a lot of the central banks' dealings, what they like to do, how they like to enslave people, how they like to send money over to different people, different countries, to try to break us. So when you start seeing these things, you got to kind of wake up and understand what they're up to. This is why I'm totally in disagreement with anyone thinking that the Biden administration will help XRP out. Okay, great. I mean, if it does, great. If not, it's still great, because at the end of the day, we want XRP to be clean. We want it to be pure, in the instance of it working for the public, the people, not for central banks to continue to control you under their illusion of what they think we should be under. So anyway, guys, this is why I'm so adamant about the Federal Reserve being destroyed, and these optical situations that we see are just playing out. Sometimes we got to look past the optics and see the grand scheme of all of this. And the grand scheme of all of this, if you've also been paying attention, is that they want to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. The Treasury Department will move forward with effort that was delayed by Trump. Now, if you know anything about Trump, it's not that he was delaying anything. You could see like pictures with Dan Scavino where Trump is looking at Andrew Jackson. He always had Andrew Jackson's picture up in the Oval Office. Now, there's a situation that's at hand here, and I think it's important for my audience to really look at this from a clean perspective and understand that what these people are doing, that is currently in the White House, or this administration, is that they are trying to play with your feelings, play with your emotions, especially if you are African American, are descendants of slaves, things like that. I am biracial. My mom's white, my dad's black, so I kind of get to see from a whole different perspective of what these people are doing. But I'll go ahead and read this real quick, this little quote The Treasury Department is taking steps to resume efforts to put Harriet Tubman on the front of the new $20 notes, said White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on Monday. It's important that our notes, our money, reflect the history and diversity of our country, and Harriet Tubman's image gracing the new $20 note would certainly reflect that. Now, in the beginning of the video, I pointed out that they stopped trading for GameStop, BlackBerry, AMC, things like that because it was volatile. Okay, now, if you are paying attention, these guys are, trying to control the market where you can't bust them. Next, if we are going to a digital age, our digital currency, why in the freak do we need a $20 bill? Why do we need another person on a $20 bill? Number one, we just talked about it. Andrew Jackson. He's on the $20 bill, right? Am I correct? So what do they want to do? They want to remove Andrew Jackson from history. Okay? So that no one knows what Andrew Jackson did to the private banks, the private central banks. Now, I do respect what Harriet Tubman did, okay, for the Underground Railroad, things like that, to try to help free some slaves, going back to get more slaves, free them, things like that. I get that. Now, why would we do this, especially when it's so easy to play on African Americans, their feelings, their history with slavery, things like that? Why would we want this? Why would you think that it's okay to have Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill? Yeah, it's going to appease some people because they think that shit's cool. But for people like myself that really knows what's going on, I think that it's a slap in the face of descendants from slavery, based on the fact that it's going to be a constant reminder of those times. You keep digging up old stuff. You keep, scratching the scab off. And these people in the Democrat Party, they like to use race as a means to divide the people. Listen, this is not about race. This is about control over currency, control over money. And if they can control you with your feelings, with your emotions, and thinking that putting Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill is cool, yeah, again, like some people, they're going to get kicks off of that. They're going to love that shit. They're going to eat that crap up. So I want to point it out that on this show, on this channel, let me be very, very clear. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you are Republican. I don't care if you like Joe Biden. I don't care if you like Trump. This is not about Trump. This is not about Biden. It's not about any political affiliation. It's never going to be about that with me. Because if you're black, you're white, Hispanic, Asian, part of the LGBTQ community, you are a human being to me. I don't care where you come from. Okay? So I will never condone race baiting. You cannot race bait me. And I don't want them to race bait you, because I want you to think clearly for yourselves. And I'm speaking to everyone as a whole, not just, my fellow African American brothers and sisters. I'm talking about everybody, because what they're going to do is they're going to try to show you this, but do this. So why are we talking about this when there's cryptocurrency? I thought the people get to create the currency. So they get to go ahead and create another $20 bill with another image. Did you get any say in that? I don't think so. I didn't get any say. Because if it was my saying, then I would say just leave it the same. Because we can't erase history. We can't get rid of history. And we can't be reminded of certain histories over and over and over and over again. I don't know what it means to be a slave. I'm sorry that those people had to go through that. But there's other history that affect other people in other countries, other nationalities, other diversity groups, like genocide and things like that. We all come from a fucked up past, excuse my language, but it's true. We all come up where we have to learn different, strategies or ideas to treat and respect our peers better. I get it. But for me, personally, racism is only a instrument or a tool to continue to control certain groups, to think a certain way, to have resentment towards another group. And I think it's a bunch of malarkey, a bunch of baloney. So anyway, I'm always preach to you to always treat everyone right. Treat people the way you want to be treated, because it's very, very clear. And I take a lot of these principles from the Bible. The Bible is very clear about a lot of things. You don't have to necessarily believe in the Bible, but I can tell you what, even if you don't, I'm almost sure if you're a good human being and you got a good conscience and, the right attitude, you can actually take some things out of the Bible and apply them to daily life when it comes to love, compassion, treating your neighbor like you want to be treated. Okay? These are all important. And, this is why you hear me talk about some of the things that I talk about, because I'm passionate about other people. I'm passionate about human beings, but I will never be fooled by any of these fools. So I just wanted to point that out. This is coming from CBS News, January 26, 2021, by Sarah E. Weiss. So I just want to make sure I give them some love on that. And the bank war was coming from Wikipedia, and the Andrew Jackson article was coming from the History Channel. So guys, I just wanted to make sure you guys get a little lesson in that, in case you didn't know. Now you do know. Now you're aware. You could do some digging. You could do some research, and kind of get your mind wrapped on that. Because at the end of the day, we will be able to choose our own currency. I do believe that currency will be XRP, and I do believe that there will be there will be a basket of currencies that will be for the people. And this is why I believe that each person has their own individual ability to create on the blockchain, create their own cryptocurrency. Whether you believe it's going to be successful or not, people will be able to create value. And that's just what it is. That's because we're going into what they call a shared economy. And people need to look that up and look deep into that. Things will change. We'll go back to the gold standard, a precious metal standard of some sort. And I do believe that the United States will continue to dominate the landscape when it comes to monetary solutions, monetary policy, the currency for the world. And I do believe that is XRP. And I do believe, in my personal opinion, it will be somewhere in March, April, no later than June, when it comes to, these currencies being announced, whether it be, through regulation, whether it be to, it just happened to do its thing, or adopted by one country or another. And again, that's just, my opinion, my speculations based on what I see going on. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Again, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Again, I try to get these videos up before 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I work a lot. I work 12-hour days. And, I try to push myself to the limit, but you know what? My audience is growing, so that means I have to provide, the stamina to continue to put out good videos and continue to compete as a contributor of some sort. And I hope that I am contributing to trying to shape a narrative that will hopefully, pan out the way I think things are headed. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys tuning in again. Have a good rest of your day. It's hump day. We're going to get through it. We're close to ending the week as well as the month. And you know what? Again, I do believe the best is yet to come. So keep your eyes on the prize. And again, continue to accumulate in the crypto market. If you guys are able to do so, make sure that you buy the red, not the green. If you do buy the green, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just think that you should wait for things to settle down to get more to your stack. So anyway, God bless, take care, and as always, treat everyone with class, dignity, and respect. Bye-bye.